you for your Gov final. Just a couple of things to go over. The first government created by the United States was called the Articles of Confederation. Then, after that failed, they created the United States Constitution, and the Anti-Federalists, in their argument to pass it, was that they wanted a Bill of Rights. The government, or the branch of government that they did create under the Articles of Confederation, was the legislative branch. They did not have the other two. Some of the weaknesses of the first national government was that no power to tax, no national army, no judicial branch or judges for the federal government. Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, 1776. The U.S. Constitutional Convention was held in Philadelphia. The idea of federalism is that it divides power between national and state governments. The Supremacy Clause, it establishes the Constitution as the highest law in the land, most important law in the land. The Preamble is your introduction to the United States Constitution. An interest group, an organization is trying to persuade individuals. They usually have one issue that they're concerned with. All the members are concerned with that issue, and they share those attitudes. That's different than a political party, because a political party is trying to achieve goals common to its members in regards to actually having power, so their goal is to win elections and hold political offices. A peer group, people with whom one regularly associates with. Your political socialization is the process of your political ideas developing an attitude toward politics, and those are usually developed first, then foremost through your family. Requirements to vote. 18 years old, must be U.S. citizen, resident of the state that you're voting in, and registered. Straight ticket voting. If you were to vote on a ballot, you vote for one political party and one party only. Requirements for U.S. House of Rep member. 25 years old, citizen for 7 years, for the past 7 years, and live in the state that you will represent, and their terms are 2 years long. Versus a senator, you have to be 30 years old, you have to live in the United States for the past 9 years, and then live in the state that you represent, and they have 6-year terms. The job of those individuals in that legislative branch, their main job is to make laws. The main job of the executive branch then is to enforce those laws, and then the judicial branch interprets the meaning of those laws. Electoral College was created by the Founding Fathers. They didn't really trust the average citizen, and this is the system that is used to elect the president. Each elector must have at least 3, or each state must have 3 electors against the senators plus 1 House of Rep, but they have more based on population. The general election is the election that's held every 4 years, and the same election that elects the president. Your Supreme Court justices who are appointed serve life terms. A question for president. So for a president, they serve 4-year terms, so one term is 4 years. The max amount of terms they can serve is 2, but the total number of years that a president can serve is 10. So again, they can do 2 terms, and maybe they fell into the presidency as a vice president. The max they can serve is 10 years. The requirements for a president is 35 years old, must be natural born citizen, and be a resident within the United States for 14 years. We already answered some senator questions there. 3 reasons why people don't vote. They say they're too busy, maybe they're not interested in politics, or they just did not register because they're lazy. What does it mean to be liberal? Liberal is the left side, you're more progressive, favor change. You want the government to have a larger role and have government interventions. Versus a conservative, it's on the right side, more traditional values, smaller government role based on individualism. Again, Republicans, conservative, Democrats are liberal. Listed below are some beliefs here of liberals and conservatives, some key concepts, social issues that we've addressed throughout the semester. Idea of political machine. We briefly touched this. It's a political group in which an authoritative boss, so a member that's very important of maybe a political party, or a small group with a lot of important people, command the support of different individuals and businesses, and those people by support will gain benefits, and then it keeps these people in power. First Amendment, freedom of speech, religion, press. Your 4th, it protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Your 5th, The right to due process, can't be charged twice with a crime. You don't have to self-incriminate, so you can plead the fifth. And this basically gives you protection of rights to life, liberty, and property. Your Sixth Amendment is your rights of the accused in a criminal case. They have a speedy trial, an impartial jury. You have to be informed of what you're being charged with. You can confront witnesses in your trial, and you always will have the assistance or right to a lawyer. When the Supreme Court makes a decision, they create an informal amendment. Basically, by making the decision, they set a precedent. So any important cases, they are looked at as laws because people have to follow them. In the Gideon Wainwright case, what happened? He was charged with the crime, was not provided a lawyer, had to defend himself, and which was then found convicted and guilty. He appealed to the Supreme Court, received a lawyer, and was found not guilty. So in Gideon Wainwright, it kind of made the decision that all individuals have the right to a lawyer. There you go. That's your review guide. Good luck.